Hey folks, welcome to lesson 2. This week we are moving forward with the course, moving very quickly forward actually. So we've got some things due this week that will be building toward your critical reading and writing portfolio, which is due at the end of the semester, and some other things that will help us to understand better what an argument is, how we can write better arguments, more effective arguments, how we can think critically about the arguments we read, etc., etc. So the outline for the week is the same basic outline it will be for every week. You've got your prepare items here, which include reading and watching some things, how to write a killer thesis statement, what is an argument, how to write an argumentative essay. So all things that will guide you in writing your argumentative paper proposal, as well as starting on your argumentative essay, which you will need to begin doing this week since we've got so much to do in so little time. We don't really have time to stop and take a breather in these short 4-week courses. Anyway, so some other things to read. One, I thought it would be apropos to think about some responses to the Charleston shooting, the Charleston, South Carolina shooting, that's probably been in your Facebook feed, that's been all over the internet, all over the news. Thinking about some of the reasoning behind it, some of the causes behind it, and I've picked some related essays, I think, from the course textbook, Readings Across the Curriculum, that deal with this idea of kind of social structures and how they affect us, how they influence us, and how people, maybe some people feel like they don't have a voice. And I think experiences like what happened in Charleston and that have repeatedly happened over the past several years, and really since our country was founded, that many people feel like they don't have a voice, but more and more I think people are finding that voice, and they are learning to develop their reasoning powers in such a way that we can respond more productively to these sorts of acts, this kind of violence when it happens to us. Because I think that's one thing that's happening in one of the essays that I've asked you to read for the week. It's called Anti-Intellectualism is Killing America. One of the author's main claims is that we're kind of going to hell in a handbasket because we don't know how to reason very well, because we have rejected our reasoning powers. But I had a friend kind of point out to me that maybe one thing that's going on is that we haven't rejected reason, but we are learning to reason differently. We're thinking differently through these kinds of experiences, and hopefully that this is something that's happening. But I just wanted to kind of spend some time thinking about these issues this week, especially in terms of our own personal ethics, of how we relate to other people, and how we think about other people, because that's important, and how we can give other people a voice in our writing. So that's kind of what a general topic is for the week, is based around these ideas of race and society and different things that have happened in the past, and these social structures that kind of reinforce different worldviews, and how that can be both how it can be both liberating and also oppressive. So we'll be thinking about some of those things in the reading for the week. And again, by Sunday, you'll need to begin working on your argumentative essay. Hopefully, we can get some feedback on your argumentative paper proposals, which you'll be submitting by Thursday of this week. So keep that in mind. I've reminded you of that here in the Reflect section. By Thursday night, submit your argumentative paper proposal, which you should prepare as a Google Doc. You can share that. You submit that by sharing a link to the file on the Proposal G+ page, and I can find it from there and give you some direction. Hopefully by the end of the week I can do that. Also, to participate in the participation section for the week. You've got 2 G+ conversations. One is about thesis building. You'll post the thesis statement that you are proposing for your argumentative essay, and then solicit some feedback on that. You'll get some feedback from your peers on your thesis building. And also we'll be talking about arguments this week, about what makes an effective argument. We'll be thinking back on the essays about which essay you responded to the most deeply and most strongly, and then you'll have you reflect upon why you think you responded to it so well, and then you'll get a little bit into analyzing the argument, about thinking about how effective it was and why you think it affected you in the way that it did, what kind of premises, what kind of claims the author makes, and how they support those claims. So that's what we'll be talking about in this week's Thinking About Arguments G+ conversation. Also got a couple of micro essays again. One is called the Yes But, and one is called the Yes And. The Yes, in both of them, we're dealing with responding to other people's arguments. In the Yes But, you'll be practicing taking a claim that someone else has made and acknowledging that claim, saying something like, so and so suggests this about my topic. And then you will rebut that claim. You will come back and say, but they have perhaps not considered this, and you'll make a counterclaim to the claim that you pick. So hopefully that makes sense. You will pick a claim made in one of the essays from this week's reading and rebut that claim. You will come back, you will argue against that claim, making a counterclaim of your own in this short 300-word micro essay. The second micro essay is called the Yes And micro essay. In this one, you will acknowledge someone else's claim, but you will also add to it. There are times when you will be reading something when you agree with what an author says, but you don't think they've pushed the claim far enough. And then that's what you'll be practicing with this. So you'll pick a claim made in one of the essays, and you'll extend that claim. You'll say, yes, basically what you're doing is you'll say, I acknowledge this claim, but I don't think they've pushed it far enough. And then you will take the stage and you will push it a little bit further. You will offer some additional support for what they say. So hopefully that makes sense. So those are the 2 micro essays for the week. You'll post those again, and then comment on those within Google Drive using the comment function there. And that's really the only thing that I have to lay out for you this week. That's the basic outline for the week. Prepare, participate, reflect. If you have questions about anything, please do feel free to let me know. My inbox is always open.